A very good morning to you. It is a fantastic Monday morning. My name is James Okumo. Welcome to Motivation Monday. I hope you had a great weekend and you're looking forward to an amazing week, because this one thing I know for sure, it's going to be a lovely week, an amazing week, lots of good things in store for you. Sometimes in life, things happen and you wonder, will I ever recover from this? Sometimes you go through situations or you find yourself in a position and you look at yourself and what's around you, and the future is so dark. It seems like this one is the last nail on the coffin. I don't think I will recover from this one. And sometimes there are people who find themselves in a situation like that and they give up, and that becomes the end of them. But then there are others who get to a place like that, but they still hold on to hope. What they're hoping for looks impossible. It looks unrealistic. It looks like, my friend, what are you smoking? This is not going to happen. But they still hold on to it, and somehow God comes through for them, and their lives are just turned around. They tell you their story, and you're thinking, what? That's unbelievable. That's the story I have for you today. From prison all the way to the pulpit. By the way, have I ever told you I was in prison? I've never told you I was in prison. Yeah, I've been to prison, not the way you're thinking, to visit and to do prison's ministry. But my guest today is somebody who was in prison. He'll tell us how that happened and how God came through for him. And right now, what he is doing, it's an amazing story, and I know that you'll be blessed by it. I will be introducing him to you in the next short while. This morning, I'm hanging out with Timothy More. Timothy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Asante, thank you for finding the time to talk to us today. Your story is one of those stories that amazes me, and I'm glad that we get the opportunity for you to be able to share it with our audience today. So tell us a bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? How was life when you were growing up?
Yeah, my name's Timothy. I grew up in Huruma, in the slums.
Okay.
And we were raised with a family of 7 siblings, and we were a single mom. So that's where life begins. Hapo nilijipata niko.
Ulijipata tu? How was life growing up? Was life hard? Was life enjoyable?
When I was growing up, of course, when I talk about slum, you just know that life wasn't easy, because we were only dependent on our mom. Na alikuwa anafanya job that hakuwa analipwa pesa poa, and she really struggled raising us up. We were just poor. I'll just say that.
Okay.
That we even go days, like 3 days without food. So it was that kind of life.
Wow.
So unaimagine kama unaweza enda siku 3 bila chakula, mngaro ni itakuwaje? And all those other things. So that's how I grew up, and life was so challenging.
Okay. You say you're a family of 6. Are you the firstborn? Are you somewhere in the middle? Are you the lastborn?
No, I'm the 4th born. Actually, I'm the firstborn boy. I follow 3 girls.
Okay.
So I'm the 4th born.
Okay. So I'm imagining, with that being the first boy, there must have been quite a bit of pressure on you.
Yeah, now that's where pressure began, because I was the first boy, I was looking at other families, and I was like, I'm the first boy, I can't allow all this to happen. So nikaanza kuhustle nikiwa. I remember when I was 11 years old, I started selling groundnuts on the road streets, so that we can feed, so that I can try even at least to feed my family. And that's when I discovered that I really need to do something, to help my family, and just for survival, nothing more. Certainly,
mkule na mvae. Kukula is important.
To survive.
Yes. Yes. So what other things did you start doing apart from selling the njugus? And I'm just wondering also, how are you balancing that with school?
Yeah, okay. With school, ilikuwa ni sometimes we'll go to school, sometimes we won't go to school. But me, I finished school early. Mapema, primo. So after I just did my KCPE, I started just, now there was no school fees, of course, to go to Form 1.
Yeah.
I was just home, and that's what I started doing now. When I finished the 8, hapo mtaani hapo base ghetto, there are guys, wale mavijana wakubwa wenyu, they'll send you, go and buy me cigarettes there. Sasa juo kwa mtaa, wengine wako shule, go and buy me. Sasa ndio unatumwa mpaka ndom, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then when you come sit with them, they'll give you kidogo, maybe they'll give you some coins, and that's how with that I began now being friends with them. Nikaanza kwa mapishte nao, tukaanza kuingiana na vile nyaka zilizidi kusonga, like when I was like 14, 15, I joined them. So ikakuwa tunaanza kufanya they'll do but that time wanafanya wizi tu ndogo, yani petty crimes. And
when you say petty crimes, what exactly do you mean? Pickpocketing or
things like that? Tutaenda mahali, especially sasa utaenda mahali kama kwa duka, ule jamaa wa duka kitu akiwa amezubaa, utaingia mkono toe kitu, things like vitu kama hizo.
Okay.
So but vile nilifika around 18, 19 hapo, after that my mom noticed that there's something fishy. So she took me to Shags. So nikaka Shags for some time, and then again nikarudishwa Nairobi. So niliporudi Nairobi, I started now, unajua mekaa tu, because I was to go to Shags, ni join shule, but now my uncle ilipofika huko tena ikakuwa tena siwezi enda shule. Actually, siwezi enda shule, the following year nilikuwa nafanya join. That uncle was a teacher in that school.
Yes.
And he died. Mtu alimwekea sumu, akadie. Yeah. So ikakuwa tena niko home, niko tu tena nimehang. So ikabidi tena nirudi tena Nai.
Yes.
So when I came back to Nai now, sasa nimegrow, mimi ni mtu, at least mimi ni mtu mkubwa, nishachukua ID hivi. Nikajaribu mamjengo hapa na pale, but kuna ile influence iko na inakuanga ghetto.
Yes.
So najipata tu bado niko nao mabeshte wangu, hata kama tena nifanye shughuli moja mbili, but at the end of the day wanakutafuta, because after some time I joined driving, so nikakuwa driver. So for them they were looking for a driver, because mkenda hiyo stories za wizi, they need someone to drive them in and out, things like those.
Yeah.
So hapo ndo sasa nilikuwa na demand pande yao. So ikakuwa wewe sasa you be one of us. Actually it was funny that where we were meeting as a group, like third group, ilikuwa ni kama mnachaguliwa. Unaona vile unaendanga kwa kibarua mnachaguliwa, wengine wanawachwa nje ya gate.
Yes.
That was it.
Oh.
So mimi sasa nilikuwa napata namba kwa sababu I'm a driver.
Yes.
Hiyo time pia kupata kijana mdogo driver ilikuwa pia si rahisi. So so that's how I joined those guys.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you find yourself on the wrong side of the law?
So the funny thing about ukifanya crime or in crime, when you go with guys, one gets shot, one gets killed, and then the following day unaona tu but unajipata tu tena unaenda
Haya,
because umeingia kwa hiyo, ushaingia kwa hiyo system, unajua. Like mnaenda mnamzika, na kesho tu mnaenda, and then one day tulikuwa tumeenda kufanya tu crime vile tulikuwa tunaenda kufanya, and we were like 6 guys, 6-7 guys. So mali tunaenda ikakuwa mali tumeenda hapo hata hakuna do, so tutakaa tungoje tutafanya nini. So tukakaa hapo, huo mtu akukuja kwa sababu tumeambiwa pesa za mtu hapo na chain of butcheries, anachukua pesa zake analeta home, tena anapeleka bank. So tukawa tunamgoja, so ikafail. So guys just decided to rob. Nilianza tuweze rudi home hivi.
Yeah.
So watu wakasema tuchukue my electronics huku nini things like those. So tukiwa tumefanya hivyo, tukiwa tunarudi home, kama kuna mtu alipigia polisi simu.
Oh.
So tunatoka hapo in that plot, tukaona kuna ma-AP wa kweli, and then started fire, tukaanza kuwa na exchange. And of course my guys walikuwa na guns, so tukakuwa na exchange of fire. So what happened is like mimi niliona hapa, so nikahepa, nikaruka kwa fence ilikuwa hapo next, and then some guys wakanifuata kama watatu. So tukiwa tunaenda tukahepa, and then mbele tukakutana askari police, and then they arrested us. And they were like, where are you coming from? Tukaambia mimi naenda hospitali, mimi sijui kapia na excuse gani. And then the inspector told us, no, there's some gunshots tunasikia huko nyuma. You're not supposed to be walking in outside right now, so we'll just lock you in, and then tutawaachilia kesho. Tukiwaachilia tuende home. Sasa hii ni kubaya, mwezi tembea nje saa hii. So wakatupeleka police station. One of the guys that nilikuwa na yeye alikuwa na hizi jewel, amechukua ma chains, masaa za gold nini, zikaweka bag. So alikuwa na maskara ametusimamisha, it was sasa ni usiku, kuna dark. Akatupa ka bag huko nyuma. Alipokatupa, kumbe this police walikuwa na umbwa inaona usiku. Mazao karawa kitupeleka hivi, sijui wanatuhoji dogina kama hiyo bag imeshika hivi.
Oh my
God. Inaleta kule jamali tupa.
Boss.
Wanze hapo sasa ndio mambo ilibadilika. So that time tukashikwa, tukakuwa hapo police station, but even though huyo inspector alikuwa mpoa, akasema no, you cannot accuse you of anything unless when mtu anakuja complain about me. Yes. Lakini for now mtaka hapa mpaka tumalize ile operation tunafanya in this area. So walipo tukakaa hapo police station, so in the next few hours tukasikia makelele tu hapo nje. Kumbe watu wamekuja mali tumetoka, those complainants. And then one lady found that bag. So this is my bag.
Oh my goodness.
Sasa bag yake ilimtangulia police station. Anaenda police station ipata huko. So sasa hapo ndo tukajulikana sisi tulikuwa among the guys that wanafanya robbery huko. Na ndio tukakuwa ndani sasa tukaingizwa cell.
We'll talk about what happened after that. This morning I'm hanging out with Timothy, sharing his journey with us. And if you have any questions for him, 20316 is the SMS line. WhatsApp number 0786316316. It's Motivation Monday, from prison to the pulpit. That's what we are looking at today. We're hanging out with Timothy Moore, sharing his testimony with us. So, Timothy, back to you. So, okay, the lady comes, identifies her pass. So you guys are locked in. Were you guys taken to court?
Actually, those were the days that you'll be tortured, because the other guys have already run away. We were just arrested 3 guys, so the other 4 wamepotea, and the other 4 kona gun, so you have to lazima mwatoe. So for your period we went through a lot of torture in police cells, but eventually wakatupeleka kotini. So we went to court and we were charged with robbery with violence. Then we were taken to community maximum prison for remand huko.
What about sentencing? How long was the sentence?
So we were taken to court again. So we were doing the case, and it took like 2 years. Because we went through a lot of torture, and one of the guys that I was with, hakuweza kutoboa. So during that time, since kutoka police cell alikuwa mgonjwa. So and in court they cannot do a case when one of you is not there. So tulikuwa tunangoja apone. So it take a lot of time, but eventually he died. And then when he died, that's when we continued the case. And then after 2 years, actually, that's when we were sentenced, because we were found guilty, and then we were sentenced.
Sentenced for how long?
We were sentenced to 150 years in prison.
Ooh, 150?
Yes.
That's a whole lifetime. That's 2 lifetimes, by the way. What? Let me take you back before the sentencing, when you guys were taken to committee. How was the experience like for you? What was going through your mind?
Of course, fear. You have to have fear because, weird things that happens there. All those sort of stories. So the first thing I went, there was fear in me. And actually, when I went in, the first room that was put in, nilipatana majamaa huko kaniambia, sasa leo umefika. We want to deal with you.
Hiya.
And they were just saying, like, you have to give us money. You really have to give us money. We need money. And I was like, I don't have anything. Even my shoes, I don't have anything. I'm just here. And they're like, utajua leo, tunangoja tu mlango ifungwe. There's a master that once the door is locked, then no one can open. Hata kuwake moto. Umchafungiwa mmefungiwa. So during that period, okay, of course nilikuwa na number one, nilikuwa na anga, bado nilikuwa na ile tu una ile kukasirika, unaona tu you just look at life and you see it's so unfair. As much as nimefanya crime and all that, but at my side during that time I was like I had to do crime because I have nothing else to do. We are poor. Unajaribu kutafuta kitu cha kujishikilia. And that's why most of the young men in the slums, mostly tunajaribu kufikiria hivyo, that now because we are poor, we really have to do all kind of means tupate do tusaidie familia zetu, ama pia sisi wenyewe tuishi maisha mzuri. So at that time I was so bitter with life, and I was looking at these guys and I was like, man, mkajua ile kitu nimepitia na nimefika tena hapa tena mtaka kufanya like. So in my mind I was like, I don't think I can take this. I was like, it's either mtaniua tu hapa and then history ishe. You know what I mean? Nachoka na.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to adjust to being in prison?
Actually, in prison, it's hard for you to adjust because every day things change. But it took me like, let me say, like 6 to 7 months for you to start now. Because when you go to prison, your family comes in and they tell you, we are fighting for you.
Yes.
You must come out very soon. And then, in your mind, you are like, I'm not here for long. I'm just here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm just here for 1 month. And then, kufikiria hivyo, the more masiku zinaendelea kusonga. And then so it takes time, because now you have to accept and know that men I really have to accept the situation that I'm in.
Okay. On the day the sentence was given, what did you feel? What did you think?
First of all, it's funny because I laughed.
Are you serious?
Yes, I looked at that magistrate and I was like, I'm not Abraham.
150 years, that's tafikisha.
Yeah, so Fikisha is just like telling me you're sentenced to death. You know? And for me, first of all, I laughed, but nikakuwa in a shock. So, because at that time, of course, jaokoka, but my mom and pray, anakuja ananiambia, I'm praying and God will do something, naangalia mom nashindwa, manze. But nilipofika prison, wakati nitolewa kotini, sasa nimekuwa sentence. Once nilifika prison, ndo najua manze, hii ni normal. Because now you are changing places. Unatoka from remand, now you're going to work for the government. Na hizo siku zilikuwa manze, ilikuwa si kama saa hii, ilikuwa ni kubaya sana. That time ulikuwa unavaa short hivi, bila kitu, a vest tu. Na hiyo kama utapata, because hakuwa na nguo huko. So ilikuwa tu fani shida. So kutoka hapo unaanza kuona hii nguo unafanika nayo 150 years. Unaanza kupigiza mahesabu. Unajua unaanza kuona hapa mambo si rahisi tena.
So you were taken back to committee.
Yeah, committee has 2 different sections. There's a section for release, and there's a section now for condemned people, people that are sentenced to death. And there's a section for now the inmates, wale wamefungwa sasa.
Okay.
Yes.
So now when you crossed over to that other side.
Yes. So when you cross over to that other side, sasa unajua unaambiwa, the first thing ukifika hapo, once umefungwa unaulizwa, who is your next of kin? because we are not guaranteeing you that you'll come out of here alive. So
wow.
you need to call someone to die.
Yeah.
And then so unaambiwa from now on utakuwa unafanyia serikali kazi na utakuwa masharti mpya. This is not now remand. You get unaenda unanyolewa, you get shaved, all those kind of stuff. Always like a boxer or an innerwear, always those kind of things.
Yeah.
You have a small cotton short like a t-shirt. So hapo sasa ndio left inaanza kuingine. So unaweza kuona hata maneno ilikuwa it's better, but unaweza sasa hivi ndio sasa kumekuwa kubaya, and then hapo sasa ndio life inaanza kuwa pia hard. And then I started serving there. I went first of all I was so confused, and in prison wanajua wewe uko so confused, so wanakupatia tu ka time kidogo kwanza ujirecollect, like hivi, so wanakuacha kwanza kidogo kwanza take that ukubali kwamba umefungwa. And then so after that nikaanza sasa kufanya kazi, so we start working in prison. I started doing carpentry. Carpentry works. Yeah.
Oh, that's where you learned carpentry.
Yeah, that's where I learned carpentry.
So what's a typical day like? Mkiamka asubuhi, what time do you wake up? What do you guys do there? What do people do in prison the whole day? How is a typical day like?
So the typical day is like you wake up at 6. So that 6 unafaa wewe mwenyewe utajipanga kama utaoga, ukunywe breakfast which is a porridge, just a cup of porridge. By 7 unafaa uko sasa uko sections. Mali mnafanya kazi. So there are different sections. There are tailoring sections, number plates zote zinatengenezewa huko, carpentry, there's mechanical, there's all these kind of sections.
So do you get to choose what you want, or you are just assigned?
No, me, I wanted to do mechanic. When they asked me, what do you want to do? I said, nataka kufanya mechanic. So akasema sasa utaenda kwa mbao. It's like they do that. So they give you a card. Now you're not a Kenyan citizen anymore. You're a citizen. Hiyo ni nchi kivyake, unapewa idea huko like a card.
Aya.
Siku ingia miaka ile umefungwa, jina zako, and then now that card is something that you should, tufai upoteze, fadhali upoteze kitu kingine.
Yes.
It's just like an ID. So every time you will meet a cop, a warder, anaweza atakuitisha hiyo card. Lazima umtoe muonyeshe. So unaandikiwa kwa hiyo card pia workstation yako. So kama wewe utakuwa carpentry unaambiwa sasa hapo ni carpenter. So ukipatikana kwa section nyingine utaulizwa unafanya nini hapa na tunaona wewe si mtu hapa. Sasa hapo tunani itakupata.
So you wake up in the morning, you have your breakfast, then you report to your station.
You wake up in the morning, you take breakfast, you go to the workstation, and then you tuna break for lunch at around 1. And then mkishakula lunch by 2 tena mnafaa mko mmerudi, and then mna break to 4:30 hapo. So 4 hapo mnafaa mmerudi, alafu mnakula dinner around 5. And then by 6 kila mtu anafaa kuwa ndani. So that's how every day, even though kila siku except weekends, because weekends mostly watu waendi kazi. Or Saturday and Sunday, unless kuna workload. So kuna wale wataenda but mnakaa ndani. So those are the days that mnakaa ndani, mnafunguliwa kitu 9. Kula breakfast, mnarudi tena at around 11 hizo siku. Mnafunguliwa tena mnakula lunch hivyo tu. So mnakuwa indoors. But nowadays have changed. But those days tulikuwa tunafanya hivyo.
Talk to us about the food. How is the food like in prison?
I remember the first time I went there, nilipo hiyo food. Na nikaangalia hiyo food, ilikuwa ni ugali fulani ya ugali. Kapis ugali, of course ijaiva unajua. And then na tumarago kama 10.
What? Are you serious? Tumarago 10?
Yes. 10 unaweza tuhesabu actually. And then wanakuweka kitu kama kuna kitu kama mafuta. So nilipoingia nikasema I can't eat this. Then nilisema tu siwezi kula hii food. Kabla nimalize kuna mtu alikuwa nayo. Anze alifika tuna dakika moja hivi. Akaniambia, unaona hii utakuwa unaitafuta sana huko unaikosa. Cause ilikuwa na smell tofauti, smell si poa at that time. Unajua sasa unaifika. So nikashindwa hii ndio sasa, but I'm telling you ilikuwa ni noma. Hata asubuhi hiyo uji iko, unajua vile hii uji ya kawaida unajua ni smooth ukikunywa, but hiyo kuna kama iko na hizo mamusha kwa ndani manini, so not comfort. Yani ni kitu kikule unasikia iko na harufu tofauti pia, si uji ya kawaida.
So how long did it take you to adjust to the food?
To the food is like 3 days, man. Unajua tumbo sasa ikisha dai. Hakuna kitu kingine unaona huko. It's not like a shop kama malutando cement. Hiyo ndio kitu unaona daily. So for siku ya 3 mwanzo nilikuwa nakula hiyo food mwanzo vibaya sana.
Wow. So when people come to visit, were they allowed to bring you food?
No. In prison they don't allow food in. Because maybe a complainant can kill you or someone can eat the food. So what they allow your people to bring is just toiletries, like tissue paper, and soap. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Okay. Great. So we'll talk about
pia sabuni ni kipande. Sorry. Pia sabuni ni kipande, si sabuni yoyote.
Why?
They try to level everyone. Because me ndo zona na mwingine hapo akona sasa ile zaleta fight ama mtu yangu tupigane, so they just try to make everyone at the same level.
Okay. So we'll talk about how long you were in there before a glimmer of hope came your way. How did that happen, and how long had you been in prison? Motivation Monday. Today it's from the prison to the pulpit. Timothy More with us sharing his amazing story. Caleb, you're tuned in from Thika. You're saying that's a great testimony. I also have Naftali in Rongai. You say Timo's story feels like a movie. Wah! I can't wait to hear it all the way to the end. Victoria, you say you're listening to that story and it reminds you of the day you went to boarding school in high school in Shags and saw the food and it was like, I can't eat this. And my school mother told me, don't worry, after a few days you'll be looking for this food. Victoria, thank you for sharing that. Also, Sarah from Nakuru, you say, wow, what a story. Now is the time. Now, this time he is in prison. Did his siblings know where he was, and what was their reaction? I'm assuming you of course, your siblings knew where you were.
Yeah, they knew. Even my mom. At first my mom didn't believe that because I was the, mimi ule mtoto alikuwa mtiifu kwa watoto wote. So I'm the one who waduka mimi wakimbia, and even that process of selling groundnuts and making sure that my family, my mom knew that mimi niko mtoto mzuri sana. And I couldn't do anything around where I live, where I live. Singefanya anything that because I really loved my mom so much. She was so dear to me. So I tried everything just to make sure that she's fine. And she had this high blood pressure, ulcers. So because of the pressures of their familia, so nilikuwa najaribu sana kucheza, mtu sema anacheza chini, but it's nothing that you do in darkness that will never come out in light.
Very true.
And that's what the Bible says. So when I was in prison, they used to come. My mom, mostly my mom. My siblings would come. One. There's a sister of mine who was the second born, and my mom. They're the people that could see them now, once in a while. And when I was in remand, they could come like in every week once or after 2 weeks once. But when now I was sentenced, it was hard, now watu wameshalose pia hope on what? Huyu jamaa sasa ametuondokea hivyo. And it was so hard for my mom too, But they used to come, yes, they used to come in prison. And I remember that, especially my second born sister, usually she always she'll show up and bring you some soap and tissue. Of course, ataleta tissue mbili, moja, but for me that was so much uko ndani because bila hiyo tissue, bila hiyo sabuni, life there was so hard.
Wow.
Yeah, so what happened is that after I was sentenced, after just 1 year, when I was serving, now that sister of mine died.
Oh my goodness.
The one that she would come and bring me, So she became sick and died. And that was a very big blow to my mom too, because she really depended on two of us. Most of the time we would be the ones who would be doing a lot of stuff in the family. So she died, and then it was so hard for mom even to come and tell me that. And I remember one time she came and she was sobbing. In prison, amshikani hata msalimiani. Nowadays they do, but before there was just a wire mesh. It's just a cubicle wire mesh where you just hear someone speaking. Utamuna kumbali. But so where she came there and she was sobbing and she told me, do you know what happened? Because it was like 6 months I haven't seen anyone coming to visit me.
Yes.
Sijaona sistangu, sijaona mamangu. And then when she came, she was that weak. And then she told me, I can't tell you. I don't even have the strength to tell you. But I'll let your sister come. So my sister came the following day and she told me that, our sister just died and that's why you're not seeing her coming, all this. So that's the third born sister that I follow, Akakuja. Kaniambia. So even me, ilikuwa ni noma sana. Because sasa ndo ilikuwa hata mtu wa kwanza tumelose kwa familia yetu. Na pia nilikuwa pia close na yeye. So I was like, what? So it was so hard for me to take that. And then after... okay, unavumilia tu kwa sababu sasa uko ndani pia unaona vitu mingi. All the time you see people die, people sick, so you started kunaanza pia kukuwa pia mtu tofauti. And then there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of beatings, there's a lot, all these things, they make you become a different person.
They harden you.
It's like you have to be strong for you to survive. There's people who try to take you for inabidi pia uko hard, you have to fight, things like those. But I remember after my sister died, so my mom came again. Alikuwa sana anajaribu sana kuja kuniona. Sasa naye pia kwa ugonjwa pia imemlemea sana. So alikuwa anakuja once in a while and then tena akarudi akapotea for like 1 year. Sioni mtu anakuja kuniona. Kumbe yote alikuwa amezidiwa sana pia kwa tu home ni mgonjwa, so she cannot come to visit me. So these other siblings, unajua kuna watu kwa familia they don't care. Yani hao pia wanajaribu kupambana na hali yao, pia maisha si rahisi. So mambo yako pia haweki mbele sana. So kwa familia unakuta kuna wale wanakujali sana. I'm not saying that they didn't care about me, but they had enough for them to so hata kupata tu fare kukuja kwao ilikuwa pia ni shida. So so one time nikiwa nimekaa ndani, jamaa alishikwa akaletwa, jamaa wa mtaani pia. Unajua sio kwa mtaani mnakuja wengi sana. So this guy akakuja akaniambia, Timothy, someone amekuja kuniona. Wacha nikamuone, nikamwambia because they are neighbors, nikamwambia nimekoya sana bila watu wangu kuja kuniona, twende na wewe niende ni home watu wakoje. So when I went there, kwa hiyo kiosk huyo jamaa anasalimia wife yake, actually wife yake anaongea naye, pia ananijua, akaniambia Timo kama umepotea sana, kumbe uko huku. Nikamwambia niko huku. Akaanza kuniambia pole, kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. So me I thought ananiambia pole kwa sababu niko prison. Kumbe sivyo anamaanisha. So mimi nikamwambia mambo itakuwa tu sawa, tutatoka. Akaniambia na by the way unajua anaenda kuzikwa, anapelekwa home on Thursday. Nikamwambia what? Nani anapelekwa home on Thursday anaenda kuzikwa? Akaniambia your mom alidai.
Oh my goodness.
Atasema anaenda kuzikwa anapelekwa home on Thursday, anaenda kuzikwa this Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
Niliona giza. Ushaona giza, hata sijui vile nirudi kwa cell. But nakumbuka for 3 days nilikuwa kwa blanket, sikuli, sifanyi anything. Unajua uko pia usipokula pia ni hatia. Usipokula ni noma, utakuwa sawa. Right now ukisema tu umestrike kukula, that one is an offense.
Wow. I didn't know that.
But but the good thing, while I said we now in that cell, actually nilikuwa kwa hiyo cell sasa nimeanza kukaa kwa hiyo cell walinielewa. So I told one of the guys about it, so he was like covering me that this guy is sick. But for 3 days singeza toka nje, singeza fanya anything. Sikumbuki siku nililia kwa maisha yangu hivyo, as in I was just looking and I was like, man, everything I was doing is because of my mom. Like sikuwa nafikiria as in kuna tu vile mamangu ametu-raise and all we've gone through na vile ameng'ang'ana kwa maisha, and I was like, okay, amebedi mapema sana hata hivyo, you know. So
okay. Let's fast forward a bit so that we don't run out of time. How many years total were you in prison?
I was in prison totally for 12 years.
12?
Yes.
Hey, hizo ni mingi, my friend. Did you ever think that one day you would be free?
No, I always knew that I'll die.
So what happened? What turned things around for you?
Yeah, so you know, after my mom died, I was so bitter with life. I was hata huko ndani so nikakuwa tu mtu tena tofauti, you know. I became someone who's so bitter. Stay kuongea na mtu. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just going to do what the authorities need me to do, and then I'm coming back nikae kwangu. As hapo, of course sika mattress nika kitu tu lakini utakaa. And then one time nakumbuka kuna jamaa anaitwa Charles Kinywa. Sasa hata yuko aliachiliwa pia yeye aliserve 28 years. But yeye alikuwa anakuja all the time, anakuja na nihubiria, ananiambia Timo, you know, unaona hii maisha ikiwa hivi, but you know there's a God nini. So I remember before my mom died, you know, once ile school nilikuwa sentenced to, alikuja na kanipea Psalms 51 because that's the day that I confessed to her that ni ukweli nilikuwa kwa hii story. Juu yako alikuwa amekata kabisa kukubali, akaniambia now I want you to tell me if this is true. So siku ile nimwambia kanipea Psalms 51, akaniambia every day make sure you read this. Of course sijaokoka, so unaona hizo vitu na nikamwambia tu ni sawa, but because nilikuwa nampenda nilikuwa naisoma but hata sielewi. But nilikuwa na kale huko nani napata kale ka New Testament kale kadogo
ka Gideon.
So ka Gideon. Yeah, so nikakuwa huo jamaa ananihubiria sana na sikuwa nataka. So one day nakumbuka nikiwa tu mahali nimekaa, I was reading a novel actually. Jamaa mwingine pia anaitwa Gatimo, anaitwa George Gatimo. Akakuja kaniambia, Timo, twende hapo church, kuna very good things that zina happen hapo. Bali unaona hapo umeboeka, umejump, twende tu huko ndani uone. So nikamwambia, sawa, let's go. So nikaingia kwa huko pia kuna ka church huko ndani. So when that church, and there was a lady who was teaching in a DVD, there were teachings going on like classes. So I sat down huko nyuma, nikakaa nikaanza kusikiza that lady talking, and she was teaching about the love of Christ. And then she was saying that in life kila kitu inaweza kuendea mrama and you know all those kind of things, but there's only one love that haiwezi kufaila. Because I'm going to speak about the love of your mom, the love of, you know, your mom can forsake you. That's but I was like, yeah, I don't have anyone. I don't have anyone right now who loves me. I'm just alone in this world. And as I told myself, you know, nilikuwa tuna hiyo push nikaona, I don't think naweza jaribu this one. Because unajua pia uko ndani mko kwa groups za vijana. And these groups mnakaleka gang. Kwa sababu msipokuwa pia kama gang mtakuwa pia mtafinyiliwa. So mnakuwa wengine ndio wasiwani. So pia mimi niko kwa vijana wale tunatoka nao Islands. Na naona nikiokoka, hiyo nilikuwa sana ndio ilikuwa challenge yangu. Nikiokoka watasema huyu jamaa ni fala, nini ameogopa, you know. But that day I was just nilikuwa na different push. Na nikaenda nika give my life to Christ.
Wow.
I remember that day nikiwa kwa myself nikipray, nakumbuka nilisikia tu kama Christ alikuwa ananiambia that every day your parents came here or your sister, they wanakuja wanaenda, but I was always here with you.
Wow.
I was always here with you, waiting for you to accept me. So, sikuwa najitafika hapa, but you know, so yeah. So after hapo nikaanza kusoma word, nikajua hapa kuna kitu. Because this was so real to me. You know, I've never felt loved. You know, hata uko kwa slam, madhangu watu wanatemea kuambia nakupenda. Unajua, yeye alikuwa anatemea kufikiria vile utakula. So nakumbuka hiyo time nikaanza kusoma word. So kwa tuna wase tulikuwa nao, kazi yangu ilikuwa ni kusoma word na kupray. kufast, kusoma word na kupray. So nikiwa huko ndani, hiyo ndio tulikuwa nafanya most. So nikaanza kwenda church, of course, nikajoin pia kuna brethren huko, tunaenda into blogs tukipreach. For first time nikaanza kuwafuata, wakinifunza vile wanafanya, and then later on nenda na preach kama mabeste wangu wananiambia, Timo, toka hapo, wewe ni fala, toka hapo. Naambia hapana, lazima niwaambie manze, mimi kuna tu feeling nimesikia kwa hii story ni tofauti na yenye vile nishaisikia, nafahamu manze, mnisikize. And then tunaenda kwa blog. So huko kuna mahali panaitwa sick bay, mahali wagonjwa wanalazwa, watu wale hawajiwezi kabisa. So nikakuwa assign huko, nikaambiwa huko ndio tutakuwa naenda. So actually nilikuwa naenda huko, tuna pray na wasee, tunawaosha wale wasee. Actually kuna wasee watatu wenye niko na testimony yao walikuwa wamegive up because huko the only way ya commit suicide sasa ni wako na meza dawa. Juu TB huko it's a lot, ni mingi sana. Ana meza dawa. So walikuwa wanapewa dawa na daktari, anaficha chini ya ulimi, and then anajifanya memeza. Daktari akienda anatoa. So actually kuna jamaa tunaenda tukapata ako na pills like I don't know, more than like 100 pills iko kwa pilo yake hapo. Huko kuna kitanda amepewa. And this guy hakuanza kuongea na mtu wote. This guy was thinking. This guy was just ready to go. And then nakumbuka nilienda nikaongea na yeye, nikamwambia, unajua nini? Mimi nilikuwa nimelose hope tu kama yeye, but hata tukiwa hapa prison kuna hope. Juu mimi najua hata kama sitatoka hapa prison, kuna mali naenda heaven, unajua. So naweza kupatia pia hiyo hope. Hata kama unataka tu kukufa, okoka alafu ukufe. Ukikufa utaenda heaven. But ukikufa vile unataka kufa hivi, huwezi enda heaven. And this guy started listening to me. So nakumbuka nikianza kumpatia, the only thing angeweza kukunywa that time, kwa sababu hakuwa anakula, is 3 tablespoons of pouring. Ama for food. Angeweza kula more than that. This guy nilikuwa naweza mwinua hivi nikitaka kuchange bed sheets zake. Yani alikuwa ni jamaa tu na kichwa. But I'm telling you, within like 3-4 months, this guy aliokoka, and then akaanza kukula na akakuwa mtu mpoa, na hata akaanza kumeza dawa zake. Actually alipona. And many people wakapona pia, tuko na prayer wasio pia wanapona. You know, I started just seeing the move of God.
Yeah. So eventually, how did you get out? Because we are almost out of time. What led to you being released?
So one time nilitwa tu kwa in the uko dogs, nikaambiwa kwa office. Nikaambiwa, no, you are sent, kwa sababu kwa mimi nikafanya appeals nini zikakataa. Actually appeals zangu zilikuwa zinataka kunipeleka condemn. So nikaitwa nikaambiwa, do you know what, kesi zako zimebebanishwa. Like, you know, I had 15 counts. So on these 15 counts, kila count ilikuwa imenifunga 10 years. So nikaambiwa, now your counts have been, they run concurrent, you know, so you'll serve 10 years in prison. Man, hiyo siku nilisikia nikaa nimeachiliwa. Nimeambiwa 10 years, but I felt like, man,
wow.
And nikaanza kuamini kuna kitu God anataka kwa life yangu. So that really gave me another push in my life to be serious with things of God. Na nika actually ile mentality nilikuwa nayo ya kujiambia huku siwezi toka, huku nitakufia huku, because that's what I knew. But since that time nikaanza kufeel hata God ananiambia, no, lazima utatoka huku, na nikaanza kuwa na hiyo mentality ya kutoka huko tena. So hata nikipray nilikuwa najiprayer nikiambia God, najua natoka huku, you know, even my prayer points zangu zika change.
Wow. Yeah. So talk to me about the day you were released. How was the feeling that day?
It was like a dream. Unajua mpaka when you are in prison, kwa sababu ukiwa prison, most of the time una dream umeachiliwa. Most of the time una dream umeachiliwa uko nje. And then unaamka unajipata prison. So this time was like, man, nisikuwa na altar. But you know, when I was there, God favored me. Because within a period of time, nikafanya nikakuwa trustee. When you are trustee, you're like someone that you're like a prefect.
Yes.
Na nikakuwa in charge ama pale nilikuwa. Actually, mimi ndio nilikuwa mfungwa wa kwanza in that place nikitoka. All the prisoners that walikuwa chini yangu, everybody wali speak that night, nilikuwa na kesho yake. Kila mtu alikuwa anaamka each. Sijaona kitu kama hiyo, and they were like, you know, we've never seen someone like you, someone who has a stand. You really umetuinspire, because every day unatuombea, unatupreachia hapa, and vile unaenda manzeni vile huku tutaki ukae huku, but tungetaka uende. Now these are people who are serving life sentences. So
wow,
ilikuwa ni kama uongo hata nikitoka kwa hiyo gate. Nakumbuka nikifunguliwa 7 gates kutoka mali huko, nafunguliwa milango 7. unafunguliwa ya kwanza, ya pili, mpaka ile nitoka ya mwisho, sikuwa naamini. Hata nikiwa kwangu, juu nikitoka huko nenda nikishika kwa bed sitter, kuna time ya kuhesabiwa. Kila time unajua kuna time mnahesabiwa. Hiyo time ilikuwa inafika, naamka nashindwa niko wapi? Yani yeah, with a lot of nightmares actually. It took me like 2 years for me to adjust.
Timo, I'm out of time, but what are you doing currently? Right now, what are you doing? Yeah.
Now I'm working with a ministry called Jesus Loves You Ministry, and initially through Pastor Joel Chola, who is our bishop. Now we go to Masai Land and we feed people, we build churches, we drill boreholes, and we preach the gospel.
Wow.
So we are seeing a lot of people coming to Christ. We are building a lot of churches. We are seeing people who are hungry. We are teaching them how to do agriculture or do things. Just try to change their culture from kutegemea tu mbuzi na ng'ombe, wanaweza fanya kitu kingine. So that's what we are doing most. Yes.
Awesome. Timo, I'm out of time. I would have loved to ask you so many questions, but maybe on another day we'll pick up this conversation. Thank you so much for finding the time to talk to us, and I'm so grateful to the work that you're doing. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married. God help me. Niko na bibi, a very beautiful wife with 2 kids, a boy and a girl.
Awesome, my friend. Keep doing the work of Jesus, man. Keep loving people. Asante sana.
Amen. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Wow. That's an amazing testimony. I'm so encouraged. I wish I had more time to ask more questions, but I hope that Timo's testimony has encouraged you today. I'm out of time. Have a great day.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.